Good evening once again. So today let's look at the budgeting and budgetary control. And I think the last class we've already introduced what is budgeting is and what I will need from that budgeting and budgetary control. So today we want to look at some questions that I think okay. We said we should start from the question number 6. Question number 6, I think we've done question 1 the last class, and I said let's start with the application. Then the question 6 that says Benson Limited made 2 products, A and B, and is preparing an annual budget for 2017. You are required to use this information given below to prepare from A to C: production budget, direct material cost budget, purchases budget, direct wages budget, budgeted profit and loss account. Analysis by division is not required. I think I explained that last week. And all this information were given to us. All this information is given to us. Then, as a result of that, we look at where we need the additional information to take place. And you can see from where we have additional information such as fees, production overhead is absorbed on a direct labor hour basis. There is no variable there's no variable overhead. Administration and selling and distribution costs are absorbed on a budgeted basis of 16 number to 3% of the factory cost. So if we are to go by this, let's analyze our additional information, all the relevant additional information which we can term as our adjustment. So let's look at the adjustment. Hello, are we there?
Yes, sir.
So question 6. So let's look at our adjustment. Then working notes. So from here, we have fixed production overhead per annum. They are giving us fixed production overhead per annum, which is 37,170,000. Direct labor hour per annum, 1,062,000 hours. So if we want to look at the absorption rate, because we are told that fixed production overhead is absorbed on a direct labor. So if we want to look at absorption rate, we are told that absorption rate is on the basis of what? On the basis of on the basis of production overhead. And the production overhead we are given production overhead to be where is it? We are given production overhead to be 37,170,000. 37,170,000 all over. We are given a direct labor hour because we are told that it's based on the direct labor hour. direct labor hour. So, and the direct labor hour given to us. What is the direct labor hour here?
1,062,000. 62,000.
1,062,000. So when we divide this, so what we are going to have, absorption rate. I think we did this last class.
Exactly, yes.
So what do you have?
35 naira.
35 naira. So 35 naira is our what? Is our absorption rate. So you can see that we are able to what? To analyze that part. Then let's look at other additional information that was there. Okay. So gross profit on a factory cost. Gross profit on a factory cost is budgeted at 25% of selling price. Then we have to get our what? Our selling price. So since the gross profit on factory cost is budgeted, they are budgeting it at what? 25% of what? Selling price. So that gross profit that we are going to get on the factory cost need to be budgeted on what? On the selling price. So we look at the question. If there is no selling price, the question, automatically we need to calculate our what? Our selling price. And I think the last time when we are trying to look at this question, we said there is no selling price. But as a result of that, we can look into our what? Our standard cost card. So we can turn this one to be what? To be working note 2. Are we together? So standard cost card, so that we can get standard cost card. So from this standard cost card, we have okay, 2 products, which is product A and the product B. So from product A, okay, let's quote it in, I think, a naira sign. So from product A, what will make up your standard cost card is the cost incurred. That's why we call it standard cost card. So look at the standard data. So we have direct materials, and that direct materials comprises of 2 materials X and materials Y. For materials X, it uses 8 kilos, and the price per kilo, it is what? It is 15. So if you want to do that, we say 8 times 15. So figure in place. If you know that where you are is fine, 8 times 15.
120.
Okay, I can also use my calculator here too, because I will just be using my calculator to cross check. So for material B, it uses 4 kilos at the rate of what? The same 15 naira. So what do you have, please?
60. 60
Okay, 4
naira.
times 15 is 60. So then let's look at the material Y. He uses 5 kilos. Please, that place is noisy. One person is making background noise there. So for material Y, 5 kilos and how much? 40 naira. So 40 times 5, we have 200 naira. And for B, he uses 10 kilo and the rate of what? Rate of 40 naira. That gives us what? 400. Then after that, we move to direct wages. Direct wages. Direct wages. And these direct wages, so the labor was categorized into two, which is a grade 1 and a grade 2 and a grade 2 and a grade 2. So for grade 1, what is telling us is that for product A, 6 hours. Labor of grade 1 use 6 hours, and the rate per hour it is 35 naira. Then 6 times 35, what do you have? Anybody that wants to talk, make sure that where you are is not noisy place. What do you have? 6 times 35.
210, 210 naira.
210. 210. Then let's look at the B. 12 hours and the 35. 12 hours and the 35. That should be, if I'm not mistakenly, 420. Then grade 2, 10 hours at a what? At a 10 naira. So 10 times 10 is 100. So for B, 6 hours at 10 naira. So 10 times it is what? 60. Then, having said that, we now look at, because one of the things that will make up our standard cost card, we have variable overhead, but I think they are not giving variable overhead, but they are giving what? Fixed production overhead. So there is a what? There's a production overhead. Production overhead that was saying that the production overhead need to be what? Need to be absorbed on a direct labor hour. And we've already compute that the rate is this what? 35 naira. But this rate, we are told that this rate, okay, let me turn this one to working theory and let me do this one here. So production overhead for, let's say, product A will be 35 naira multiplied by, we are told that it has to be what? Based on the direct labor hour. So we now go to our labor, which is grade 1 and grade 2. Under product A, we have 6 hour. Grade 2, we have 10 hours. So 6 and 10, if you add it, that should be 16. 16. Then what do you have? 35 times 16. Then we move to product B as well. Product B as well, 35 naira multiplied by, then we look at the grade 1 and grade 2. We have 12 and 6, making 18. Making 18. So anybody can, who will figure me this, please? Hello?
Yes, sir. We have 560 for product A and
560.
And 630.
560 and what? 630.
30.
Okay, so we can now bring it here. 560 and what? 630. So we can cast everything. So when we cast it, obviously we have our what? Our standard factory cost. So this is the standard cost card. We say we have our what? Factory cost. Factory cost. Please figure me the total.
For A is 1,190.
1,190. Okay. Out of the second one,
1,570.
1,570. So these are our factory cost, and these are our factory cost. Then it is now from here we can get our what, our selling price. So if we are to get our selling price from the, you can see that it said gross profit on factory cost, if meaning that gross profit on factory cost is absorbed at 25% of selling price. It means that out of 100, if gross profit takes 75, it means that the selling price will be taking, if gross profit take 25%, then the selling price will be what, 75%. That is, gross profit on what, on factory cost is budgeted at what, 25%. So meaning that if I want to get my gross profit, let's see the simple analysis. Let's see, if I want to get my gross profit, it will be 25%. Then selling price will now be that of what, 75%. Then to get my selling price here, it will now be 1,190 divided by 75%. So what do you have? 1,190 divided by 75% will give me my what? My selling price.
That's 1,587.
1,587.
587.
So what other, I should confirm that too. And the second one,
Second one is 2,093.
2,093.
Yes.
The first one is 1,000. It's 1,000. Okay, let's do it this way.
587.
586.67 kobo. Don't worry.
Okay.
Without, let's say we give it to 2 decimal. Okay. What of the second one?
1,093.33.
Okay, let me confirm that one too. Divided by 0.75. 1,570 divided by 0.75 divided by 0.75. I'm having, can you confirm 1,570 divided by 0.75? I'm having different thing here. I'm having 2093.33. Is that what you have?
Yes, 20 is 20.
2093.33. So this is my
Yes.
selling price. Are we good to go?
Yes, we are good to go.
So then I've gotten my selling price. So since I've gotten my selling price, then no issue. Since I've gotten my selling price, then no issue. Then we can now go to the requirements. So I've walked through all the necessary information. Then I can now go to the requirements and prepare what? Production budget. Production budget. Please, you can mute yourself now. Requirement A, production budget. based on the requirement, production budget. And then we have product what? A and B. A and what? B. So it is the unit that I want to calculate because it is the production, not the cost. So production budget, and I've explained this production budget that I have to start by what? Sales unit. Sales unit. Then I will add my closing stock. Closing stock. Then I will less my opening stock. I will less my opening stock. Then what is the sales unit? So because you don't have the sales unit, but you only have the sales value. If you remember, they are not giving us the sales unit, but there's a what? There's a sales value. And the sales value, you can see, they are giving us that the budgeted sales for the year, you can see that it is in Naira. Then you can do the analysis in such a way that, what's it called? In such a way that, okay, where should we put the working notes? Okay, sales. Which working note is this now? Where do we stop as working note 3? So let me use this one to be working note 4. So sales, budget, sales budget. We have A, and they are giving us in Naira equivalent. B, they are giving us in Naira, that is in 1,000. So then from there we have division. Division. Hello, are we there? One person should talk.
Yes, we are with you.
Okay. Division. And that division splitted into what? Lagos. Lagos. If you know that where you are is not noisy, you can talk or you can unmute yourself and talk. Lagos division under product A is how much? I think 18,000.
18.
What of B? 12,000.
800.
12,800. Then Kano. Kano 6,000 and 16,000. Okay, Aba 9,000
and 26,000.
and 26,000.
Benin.
Benin 5,000
8,000.
and what? 8,000. Okay, that's all. Then we can cast the total.
For A is 38,080.
38,080.
For B, 62,800.
Coming. You said this one is 38,080. What of this one? You said 62,000 what?
800.
800. So then, so this is the value. This is the total value in value. Total value. So from this total value, we can get the unit. Since we are able to get our what? What's it called? Since we are able to get our selling price. Our selling price. And also we have series of options of doing it. Then sales in units. Sales in what? In units will now be total value all over what? All over selling price. So for A, what do you have to be? 38 million 80,000 what do you have? Divided by what's the selling price? Selling price is 1586.67. So we have what? We have 24,000. We have 24,000. Hello, are we there? Because we have 23,999.9 when you approximate to whole number. So then that one will now turn to 24. So then the second one, 62,000, 62,800,000, 62,800. What is the selling price for B? The selling price for B is 2093.33. So you have 30,000 because 0.04. So it's not up to 5. You can't approximate that. So 30,000. Others, are we there? Others, you can unmute and talk. Let's see if we are on the same page. So sales in units now, we can now take it here and say 24,000 for A. For B, 30,000. So, hello, are we on the same page?
Yes.
Hello.
Yes. You're on the
Hello.
same page. Hi.
Others.
Yes, we are. We are.
Okay. So we can now say add closing stock. Add closing stock. Then let's go to the information about our stock. So look at the finished goods stock. The finished goods stock, we have January 2017 and we have December 2017. So January is our what? Our opening. Then December is our closing. So we want to add the closing stock. And they are giving us, that person should move, please. And they are giving us 295,000 because we have 30 here. 295,000 to be our what? Our product A. And 1,413,000 to be our what? Product B. Then for product A, which is 500 and what's it called? 595,000. Then we can, it is unit that we are talking about. Then we can divide it by the what? By the factory cost, because this is our factory cost. Factory cost is 1,190. So for us to get the unit, because this is you can see finished goods value as standard factory cost. It is the factory cost they use to value it before they can get 595,000. So we want to know the unit. 595,000 divided by the unit. So we have 500 units. for our closing in A. Then we look at B. B, the factory cost for B, it is a 1,570. Then let's look at the value for B. Value for B, it is 1,413,000 divided by 1,570. Then we have 900 units. 900 units. Then we move to our opening stock. So ask your question. I think maybe somebody raised and okay,
Please, I
ask your
don't
question.
understand. Please, I don't understand how you calculate that closing stock in units for both
The
products A and
value,
B.
the value of the stock, the value of it is 595,000. They have 30 here, 595, and they are telling you that this information given to you, it is value at a factory cost. And your factory cost, you've already calculated your factory cost here per one. Factory cost is a 1,190 per one. Then obviously they use this amount to multiply some units to get this. How will you get the number of units? It means that 595,000 divided by this for A. If you want to calculate for B, it will be 1,413,000 divided by this as well. Is it clear?
Okay, thank you.
So then we now move to close, what's it called? The opening. The opening stock. Opening has to be January. It's the same way. 238,000. 238,000, 123, divided by the factory cost, which is 119. So we have 200. Then we move to B. 628,000. 628, 123,000 divided by, you go to the factory cost of that B, which is the 1570. 1570. We have 400. We have 400. Then we can cast. So what do you have? Others, you can figure me, please.
I mean,
You can figure me, please.
24,300 for A.
24. 300 for A, okay. Out of B.
3,500.
This is my production requirement. Production required. So I'm done with that requirement. 30 what?
500.
500. So then we can now move to requirement B. So what the requirement B was saying, direct material cost budget. So requirement B, direct materials cost budget. Direct material cost budget. So from this direct material cost budget, oh sorry, let me. Okay, sorry. There's no space there. Let me move to where space is. Okay. So let's move to here. Direct material cost budget. Direct materials cost budget. So from direct material cost budget, we have what's it called? Materials. The materials name. What's the name of the materials? X and Y. Material X and what? And Y. Material X and Y. So from that material X and Y, it is the Naira equivalent that we are going to calculate, because the question says direct material cost budget. So they are talking about money. So it is the Naira equivalent that we are going to calculate on that. Are we there? So if we are to calculate the direct material cost budget, then what we are going to do is that we have to start from what's it called? From our production requirement. Production requirement. So we have to start from our what? Our production requirement, because we've already used the material. You know, we purchase the material, we use it for production, then we want to know, you know, it is the unit. It is the unit that we put here under requirement A. The question says production budget, so we only calculate the unit. So it means that we've already used the material, then this time around, that material that we purchase, direct material budget now, direct material cost budget, we want to estimate the cost of that material. So as a result of that, we can say production required. Start from what? Production required. Are we getting it? If you are getting it, say I, please. Production required.
Hi, we are getting it, sir.
Okay. So that production require what's it called? So for what's it called? What's our first requirement? Production require. So let's see. Material. Let's go back. So what is the unit of that material? For material X, 120, and then for the same material X under B product. You understand? For material A, and we produce a product in it, 120, that's the cost per unit. Then the same material S, product B, 60. And this one material Y, 200, and this one is what? For what's it called? 400. Hope you are getting it.
Yes, yes.
So then let's now look at the production requirement. So what's our production requirement for A? 24 300. So
300.
then, okay, so you can do that one, because I don't want to waste a page here. You can do it by say this 24 300 multiplied by 120 for material X. Okay, let me do it this way, no problem. I will squeeze it. So 24 300, let me just put it somewhere. 24 300 multiplied by what? 120. Then for product B, what did I get at the production requirement? A production require. I get 3,500. 3,500. Then what is the rate of material cost per unit?
60.
60. You can see. Where is it? 60. 60. Because I'm still under material S. God bless you. 60. So what do you have? Whatever you have, you just put it here. Then I'll do for what's it called? For X as well. So what do you have? Figure me, please.
2,916,000.
2,024,300 times 120. 2,900 and what?
16,000.
Please, you can unmute. You can mute yourself. So, and I'm putting 30 up. What will I do? That should be 2,916, right?
No.
Yes. And 1,830.
1,830.
1,830.
Okay. So that one is for X now. So I cannot go for Y. Do you get my point now? I can go for Y. I can go for Y. So you can do, I think you understand what I'm, that's why I don't want to put it here because of space. So you can do same thing
We have
for Y.
4,860 for
Okay.
A. 4,860 for A.
4,860 for A. Okay. What of B?
B is 12,200.
12,200.
Someone should please confirm.
So definitely I can just look for a way to put it here. 24,300, right? Multiply by, what do you use to multiply this one? Under Y.
200.
Okay, 200. Then this one is 400. Okay,
400.
200. So that when we are going back to check it, no issue. 200. Then this one, it is a 30,500 multiplied by what? 400, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So then total this and this. Let's calculate the total of it. 2,916 plus 4,860.
We have 7,776. 7,776.
7,776. Okay. What of this?
We have 14,030 naira. 14,030 naira.
14,030. So then we can cast. Please cast.
The total is 21,806. The total.
Total.
Yeah, the total column. The column.
Okay. 20 what?
21,806. 806.
806. Okay. Out of X and Y.
X is 4,746.
Which one?
S.
S. S is what?
4,746.
746. Okay.
And Y is 17,060.
17,060. So that is a B aspect of it. Then what happened in C? What the examiner was asking us to do in C? Purchases budget.
Please, before you move on, I have a question, please.
Go ahead, please.
How do you come about this 24,300 and this 30,500 that we use for the production requirement for S and Y?
Okay, this is what we do. This is it now. 24 from your production budget. 24,000 says we had closing stock and we less closing we less opening stock. This is how we get it.
It's okay.
So we are in the C part of it, purchases budget. So what they are saying is now, look at what I'm trying to do. You know, the first one talk about the production. We've already, they want to know the production requirement. And after getting the production requirements, they are talking of, okay, we should calculate the material cost budget. That how much does the material cost us? And you've done that. So they now said, what's it called? Purchases. Purchases, you know, in terms of cost, that's what we do at material cost budget. But this time around, they are saying purchases what? Budget. We want to do the purchases budget not in value, because unless if we are at the end of the day, we calculate in value. We just calculate in value. But purchases budget, unless if otherwise that the examiner said we should do purchases budget in what? In value. But this time around, we have to calculate the purchases budget in what? In unit. What do you purchase? It is that material, and this material is what? S and Y. So we have to start with our what? The same thing based on the okay, the material is in kilo anyway. I think I put unit that time in kilo. Are we all there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So if we are all there, then production requirements. Production required. Production required. So this production require the kilo. I can, okay, how many kilo products A and B uses? Let's say A, B. So how many kilo from the question?
8 and 4. 8 kilo and 4 kilo.
Of material, okay? 8 kilo and 4 kilo. Under Y, 5 kilo and 10 kilo. Then if this one is what? 8 kilo. Do you get my point now? If this one is 8 kilo, for me to calculate 8 kilo under A, and what's it called? You said 4 kilo under what's it called? Under B. Then we can use our calculator to calculate that. 8 kilo under S multiplied by the production required. I've calculated that under A. It will now be 8 times 24,300.
194, 400.
400.
What do you have?
194, 400.
194, 400. That is 194,400 kilo. Then let's look at the B. B, how many kilos B use?
It It's 30.
Under material S, 4 kilo. Then 4
Kilo.
kilo times what is the production required?
30,500.
30,500.
122.
122,000.
122,000. So you do the same thing for Y. Under material Y, you use how many kilo? Under A, 5 kilo. Under B, 10 kilo. So you use the same thing. 5 kilo multiplied by 24,300 and 10 kilo multiplied by 30,500. What do you have?
For S, we have 121,500.
For A?
For the Y. Yes, for A. For the
121.
500.
500 kilo, okay.
For B is 305,000.
305,000 kilo. Can you see now? So then we move to closing stock. It's just the same way when you are doing your production. Closing stock, and that closing stock for X and the Y. So we can now calculate that. I think we have closing stock relate to that. Let's see. For material, you can see. You know, that time it is finished goods. If you remember, when we are doing our product, so for purchases now, for purchasing budget now, because it's material that we purchase. So closing stock, 31st December, what's it called? 375,000. Can we do the working notes?
Yes.
Hello. So let's do the working notes so that the work will be neat. So closing stock of that raw material. Working note what? Working note what? Closing stock of raw material. Hello, are we there?
Yes, we are there.
I said working note what, so that I will put it there. Working note 5. So for X, how much do you have given to us as closing of 375,000? 375,000. And we want to get the unit or in kilo. So we divide this by, we can now go to our question and let's see what is the what's it called? The rate at which we are going to divide it. You can see per kilo under S is what?
15.
15 naira. 15 naira. Then what do you have? Then we move to Y. How much was given to us as Y?
1,800.
1,800 as closing stock. That is 1,800,000 because there's 30 off. Divided by what is the rate?
40.
40. 40 naira per kilo. 40 naira per kilo. Then whatever you get, you do it. Then we now move to closing again, opening. Opening stock. Opening stock of raw material. We have X and what and Y. Then for X, opening. How much is our opening for X? Raw material, because January is our opening. For X, 1.2 million. 1.2 million divided by what? 15 naira. So for Y, 1.6 million. $1.6 million divided by what?
40.
15 naira. 40 naira, sorry. So what do you have?
For the closing stock.
What do you have?
For the closing stock, S, we have 25,000.
25,000, okay.
Then for Y, we have 45,000.
25,000 kg, right? Which one? What of this?
45.
80,000.
45,000. So what of the opening?
The opening, we have 80,000.
80,000. What of the Y of it?
We have 40,000 kg.
Okay, so we can now take it to here. Closing. You call it 25, right?
5,000 kg.
25,000, okay. What
For
of Y?
5,000.
45,000.
Yes.
Then opening.
80,000 for S.
Okay, 80,000. So we are going to less this. What of this?
For Y, 40,000.
40,000. So if you look at this now, you discover that it's not really different from production budget. Just that the production budget, I use sales, then I add closing stock of finished goods, and I less opening stock of finished goods. But for purchases budget, I started with production required, which is already calculated. Then I add up closing stock of material, not finished good, closing stock of raw material. Then I less opening stock of what? Raw material. So this one is the material, raw material. This one is raw material, and when we do the production, we make use of what? Finished goods. So this is the finished goods. This is the finished goods. FG. So what do you have? Figure me, please.
For S, we have 261,400.
For X,
261,400.
261
400.
400. For Y,
Are you sure?
Yes.
okay. Please, others confirm.
For Y, we have 431,500.
So others, please confirm as well. Help us to confirm so that I can put it down.
Yes, it's confirmed, sir. It's confirmed.
Okay, you can call it down.
400. 261,400.
261,400. Okay, out of this,
It's 431,500.
431,500. So this is actually what they asked us to do. But let's assume the question go further that this is a purchases they asked us to do. This is what we actually purchase. But if the question answer we should calculate the purchases cost budget, the cost of it, then we can now say price per kg. Price per kg. So how much is the price per kg? So we can now check our question and say under S, price per kg it is what? 15 naira, under Y 40 naira. So we can use it to multiply that. So this one will be 15 naira. And this one is what? 40 naira. So we can just use it to multiply it. So whatever we get will now be purchases value. In value now. Purchases value. The person should ask question, please.
Please, are you saying if you were told to calculate the purchase cost budget, we use that value, that 15 naira and the 40 naira
to multiply our finance here.
Okay.
So that we just put it here. But if they now say the total, so what do you have? Just let's do it once and for all in case. 261,400 multiplied by 15 naira. We have
3,921,000.
921,000. Okay, what of this one?
17,260,000.
17,260,000. So total means you have to add the two of them. That's meaning of the total. Let's assume you want to get the total of it. You just add the two together and get your total. So what do you have?
$21,181,000.
Is that what?
21,181,000.
21,181,000. Okay. So that is what the examiner is asking there. So D part, direct wages budget. Direct wages budget. Coming. Okay. Direct wages budget. That is which part is that? D part. D part. Direct wages budget. So this direct wages budget, what is it pointing out? It's pointing out what? Our labor, right? And our labor is actually what? Grade 1
and grade 2.
Okay, grade 1 and what? Grade 2. So then we are looking at the total of their money. So we can go back to our question and look at on what basis we are to pay our labor. What do you think that labor will do before you pay them? The question is over to everybody. What do you think the labor will do before you pay them? In a manufacturing set, let me put it that way. What do you think labor will do before you pay them?
They have to work now. They have to work before you pay them.
Okay, what kind of work they will do?
Hourly job, work based on hourly, not
In a
monthly
manufacturing
job.
company, what are the kind of work the labor will do there? The labor, all these factory workers.
Production, packaging.
Production. That's what I want to hear. Production. Then we can now go back to what? So it relies on our what? On our production budget. So this is the basis that we are using. Production required. This is what they will do. For product A, they will produce 24,300. For B, 30,500. Hope is cleared.
Very well, very well.
So production required. Production required. So A, B. Then because of the space. So for A, what the labor of grade 1 will do in that production? What are they going to produce? How many units they are going to produce?
24,300, right?
24,300. So 24,300, we cannot go to our labor. How much are we paying there? We have already calculated that. For grade under our standard cost card, we've already calculated how much we are paying there. Let's check.
210.
Okay, God bless you. Can you see? Grade 1, we already computed that. 210. So 24,300 of the production required multiplied by that 210 for product A if the labor on grade 1 work for that production product A. So what do you have?
It's 5,103,000.
20 what?
5,103,000. That's
103,000. Okay, 30 is up. So then let's look at the product B. Product B. How many they will produce in product B?
420.
Product B.
It's 420.
How many they will produce? 3,500.
500.
3,500 by 420.
By 420. Good. For grade 1. So what do you have?
12,188,10.
12 million
810.
810. Then do the same thing for grade 2. Grade 2. How much they will pay there for when it's come to grade 2 under product A? So 24 requirement, 24,300, and the grade 2. How much are we paying on grade 2? 100 for product A and 60 for product B. So let's calculate that product A first.
then for that grade 2, we have 2,430,000.
Others, please confirm 2,430,000. Okay. For product B, the same grade 2,
We
they are
have
going to produce 3,500 at the rate of 60 naira.
1,830,000.
1,830,000. So then total, can calculate the total, then we cast. Total 5,103 plus 2,430. What do you have?
7,533.
7,533.
533.
Okay. For B,
For B, we have 14,640.
14,640. So we can cast all of them now.
For the total, we have 22,173.
22,173.
For A, we have 17,000. For that grade 1, we have 17,913.
913. Okay. Grade 2.
For grade 2, 4,260. 4,260.
4,260. Others, are we getting it? Are we following? Others.
Yes, we are with you, sir.
Okay. Okay. So, what's the last part? The last requirement. Budgeted profit and loss account, and analysis by division is not required. What they are saying is that under this budgeted profit and loss, you don't need to separate them. You don't need to separate that division. That's what they are telling us. You don't need to do the division wise. What they are trying to do here is to calculate everything in total. So that is what the examiner is trying to pointing out from that angle. So the analysis of the division is not what is not required. So let's do that. Okay. E part. What is the heading? Budgeted profit and loss account. Budgeted profit and what? And the loss account. And loss account. For the year. What's the year? Let's look at
2017.
December 20 what? 2017. December 2017. So when we say profits, what you are going to do in profit is from your what? Your sales. After sales, you will less what? You will less your expenses. Then you get your what? Your profit. That's the logic. It does not depend on the available information, because they said the division is not necessary. So we don't need to separate A and B. So you have to do everything together. So that's what I mean by division is not required. So sales for A. What is the sales value for A?
24,000.
Value is not possible. That one is unit. Sales value.
38 million 80,000.
You can see now. Total value of say this one is unit.
Oh, total
Value.
value is unit.
38 million. $38 million. Okay. Plus what of the B? B-O.
800.
62,800. Then you total it and put it here. So that's what the examiner is trying to tell us there.
100,880,000.
100 million.
880,000.
Okay. 100 million. 800 and like this.
Yes.
Okay. So after that, I believe that profit or loss based on the information. We now say opening what? Opening stock is your normal profit or loss. Opening stock of finished goods. So what's the opening stock of finished goods? So you don't need to do it division wise. You just add the value. Opening stock of finished goods. What do you have? I think we've got that. Don't forget when we are doing our what's it called? Budgeted. What's it called? Production. I think we calculated opening stock.
Yes, we do. 500 and 900. 500,000 and 900,000.
And what? I mean, value 238,000. That one is something that we're talking about. That one is in units now.
Yes. I remember. It's in production budget.
Hello.
Yes, we are with you. I remember it's in production budget, so it's in units. Yeah.
Hello,
we can hear you, sir. Can you hear us?
Okay. One person.
Hi.
Raising hand. Bukola, go ahead.
Please, I just joined. I need to know the way you are treating me. Please, which year is this? Biko, I just joined the chat now.
So
Please.
plus. Oh, I can hear you. plus 6.
Please, can I know the year?
Plus 628.
28. So what do you have? The solution will be sent out and the question is in the group. So we do 38,000 plus 628. So what do you have, please?
866,000.
66.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Welcome back.
Can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So I said, what do you have for your opening stock?
866,000.
866.
Yes.
866,000. 8 like this, right?
Yes.
So after opening stock, we add what's it called? The purchases.
Purchases.
Yes, and these purchases is actually, when we say purchases are component of a direct cost, and the direct cost, when we say purchases, they are component of what? Direct cost.
Yeah.
And these direct costs, they are direct material, direct labor, and production overhead. So instead we say production. They are production costs. So this production cost, they are what? Direct materials, direct labor, and what? Production overhead. Then we can go to our requirements and pick it one after the other. So what is our direct material? Direct material that we calculated. I believe it's clear. Direct material. Where is it? you can see direct material cost. We have 21,806. 21,806. Okay. What of labor? Direct labor. Our direct wages. Wages our labor. How much is that? 22,173. 22,173. And our what? Production overhead. We've done this production overhead that time. I know that you remember how we get our production overhead.
Absorption rate.
Yeah.
Based on the what's it called?
Absorption rate.
Yes.
Sorry.
So let's see. I think they gave us the value. We are not using per one. I think they gave us the value of
yes,
it.
37,170,000.
Okay. Let's check. Production overhead. I think they mentioned it, but it is the value that we want to use. Where is it? You can see production overhead 37,170,000. 37,170. So then we can cast this.
We can as well set the absorption rate multiplied by the total number of hours is going to give us the same.
Yes, but since they are giving us the total value,
directly,
so
we just pick the direct.
Yeah, we just pick it. So what do you have? From opening stock, from here down to here, what do you have?
82,015.
82,015. Then we can now less our closing stock. Less closing stock. So that closing stock, you just check your question, cast it. Closing stock of finished goods, which is December. 595 plus 1413.
515 plus 1,000.
I'm coming 595 plus 1,413. So what do you have? What do you have?
That is 2008.
2008. So then you can remove it.
That will be 80,007.
80,007. Like this.
Yes.
So then you can compare this now. Bracket it and remove it from your sales, so that you get your gross profit. You get your gross profit. What do you have as gross profit?
20,000.
20,873.
20,000.
873.
20,873. 20,873. Are we there?
Yes.
20,873. So we can now, it is a P or L. Then you can now less expenses. Hope it's clear.
Yes. Do we have expenses?
Yes, sure. So don't worry. Less. So these expenses that we are lessing, they are giving us already. They said admin. They mentioned it already in the question. They said there is no variable overhead.
Yes.
They said no variable overhead, but look at it. Administration, selling, and distribution are absorbed on a basis of 16 own number to 30% of the factory cost. That is how you get that. Is it clear?
Yes. Then what's the factory cost?
So it means that our expenses that I want to less here should be admin, comma, selling, and what? And distributions. So 16 whole number to third. 16 whole number to third percent multiplied by our what? Our factory cost. And our factory cost is this, which is 80,007. So that is the factory cost. Because I told you that production cost, all this, when you less the closing, so this is the remaining one. This is your factory cost. So what do you have?
53,338.
You calculate the percentage very well. Let's do it very well.
$1,600 number 2/3. Is it not the same thing as 2/3?
Your 16 whole number, 16 times 3 is what? 48, right?
Yes, plus 2 is 50.
Plus 2 is 50. I'm coming. Let's do it one after the other so that I won't do mistake. 50 over 3, right?
Yes.
Percent.
Yes.
And when you want to convert this one will be 50 over 3 times 1 over 100.
Yes.
I think we are fine. Because this one is over here. So 1 over 100. So 50 here 1, 50 here 2. So that should be 1 over 6. Everything that is here is 1 over 6 of 80,007. Hope it's clear.
It's clear. It's 13,335.
13,000.
335.
13,330. 300. Call it again.
13,335.
Okay. 13,300. Like this.
335. Yes.
So when you subtract it, then you get your budgeted profit or loss. It depends on whether positive or negative. budgeted profit. If it is positive, then it's budgeted profit. So what do you have? 28,738.
38.
7,000.
538.
7,538. So this is the end of the requirement. So any question?
No question.
Any question so far?
Somebody somehow technical.
So I believe it's interesting, right?
It's interesting, but very technical.